This is a video for how to go about placing columns and any other structural elements within your grid system that you've created in Autodesk Revit. So in a previous video, I've gone ahead and created this, vertical and horizontal grid system before we actually start building our structure in Revit. And so I'm going to start out just by going to column. And you can go to load family and load different columns or take a column from elsewhere, but I'm just going to go ahead and just stick with the standard column they gave us. Remember, you can choose whichever column you want. And we can go in and click just on each one of these intersections as we wish, but there's another way to go about doing this that'll make it a little bit easier. Now I'm going to show you two separate methods. You're going to come up and you're going to click on Add Grids. And when we click on Add Grids, if I say, every one of these intersections gets a column, I can just click and hold down from top right to bottom left and let off. And automatically it places a column at every one of those intersections. Now if I go to Finish, got to give it a second here. When I go up to View and I go to my 3D view, you're going to see that we have a column at every one of those intersections right there. Now, let's just say that I didn't want that. I don't want a column at every single intersection. I'm just going to hit Undo at the top, and I'll show you another method. So we're going to go up to Structure, and I'm going to click on Column again. And I'm going to go to Add Grids, but I'm going to click on, let's say, I'm going to start, for B, and I'm going to hold down the Control key, and I'm going to select D, and I'm going to select F, and you're going to notice that those turned blue. And I'm going to say at each one of those along, grids 8 for vertical and 5, you can see the type of column show up, and 2. I'm going to click. And as I held down the Control key, I selected each one of those lines, and now when I say Finish, you will notice that I'm going to automatically get those placed at those intersection points. So I didn't have to click on each one. You can do that, obviously, but I can just hold down the Control key and select whichever intersection point that I'll have. So I can go to View again, I can go up here to 3D View, and you can see how those are placed just like that. The other benefit of the grid system, if I come back over to my structural plans, is when we start going into structure and you start talking about structural floors, if I have this automatically set out how I want, I can just come up to rectangular, the 2-point rectangle command, and just snap within my grid system and say Finish. I can go to View now, and I'm going to go to my 3D view, and you can see we have our structural system placed here. We've placed some columns. So this grid system really helps you map things out and place things from a really logical and thought through basis before you actually just start drawing rectangles and walls and things in Revit. So this has been a video on how to go about arraying and placing columns within your grid system in Autodesk Revit.